Well, it hasn't been great weather today. As you can probably hear behind me too, it's pissing, as it usually would. In this country, never sun shines. Well, obviously we had a few good days now in the summertime of fairness. But there's been a lot of rain. I'm sure people have seen about in County Cork at the moment. A lot of Cork at the moment is literally flooded. Now I know people say Cork City set the floods all the time. Because obviously when there's loads of rain. But a lot of places in Cork, particularly a few parts of Cork, got it very bad. Today, literally water up as far as the roof for some cows. In some parts of Cork, and Mallow, I think, in County Cork, and other places in Cork too. So it's been pretty bad down there. So hopefully, it seems that there's a lot of damage done, unfortunately, to businesses and shops and businesses and houses too. So it's probably going to take a good while before that's ever cleaned up or hello Spider, sorry, I was too busy going on with other things. But yeah, so it's just crazy stuff. So, and it's getting bad for all day tomorrow too, so it's not going to be good probably everywhere. Not going to be good everywhere, I suppose. Yes, it's not good in Cork at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on the road nowadays. Too much stuff going on. So yeah, just to say tomorrow, I probably shouldn't say it now. I probably should say it later on with people around. But there's a new DLC coming out for Police Simulator. You probably have seen me play it a few times, so we're going to probably do that tomorrow. So there'll be another live stream tomorrow at some point, probably around this time or so, on the Police Simulator. So I say it'll probably be around this time. If not, then it'll be 7 o'clock or so, and probably maybe 9 o'clock, depends. So just to let people know that it'll be tomorrow too. All going well, obviously. So anything could happen in the meantime. But anyway, how are we all doing? There's 3 people here at the moment. How are we all doing? Hello, Aaron. Only how are we doing? How's our Wednesday going? So yeah, so to be Aaron only be happy. We're finally playing some games again. With the police DLC coming out tomorrow for patrol officer, police patrol officer. I couldn't speak there for a second. So we're going to check out that DLC. Tomorrow now. Hopefully it'll be good. So we have to wait and see what I don't know. It might be good, it might be bad, who knows. But we see how we get on. I don't really know how it's going to be the DLC. Yeah. Can I get my relaxing music again? No, I don't know where it keeps disappearing. I'm going to put it on stream. So we have a lot of stuff happening in the world at the moment. There's a lot of stuff to talk, but there's a lot of things to say at the moment. There's a good few things in my head I have to talk about, but sure, too much to talk about. It's crazy stuff now. What's happening in the world? So yeah, any fun with anybody? Anybody have any crack or any fun this week? Are we all very quiet today? Yeah, like it's crazy stuff what's happening over the Middle East at the moment. It's truly crazy what's happening. It's you find it hard to believe. It's hard to believe anything like this has happened, but I'm sure. That's the modern world, I'm afraid. It's crazy stuff now what to see. So yeah, what was I going to say? I'm just trying to think how am I going to, like, there's many things I have in my head to talk about, but I don't know really how to start. Start it off saying how I'm going to talk about this. Usually when it's a video, you can get straight into it, but you don't know how to kind of start talking about things different times. And like Joe Biden all of a sudden, um, having a shy, a shy moment. That's what that. A brain voice, if you may. I hope my chat not glitched. It could be glitched actually. But yeah, so no, it's okay. It's making sure. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Joe Biden, he went to Israel today. Speaking of Joe Biden, now I don't get this. To be totally honest, I don't get why. Literally, even the same, but in Ukraine too. Why every world leader and their mother literally goes to every war zone nowadays. It doesn't make any sense. Why they will go to a country that's at war and stuff like that. Even Leo going off to Ukraine. It doesn't really make any sense why they will go into a dangerous zone that that anything could happen to them at any moment. It doesn't make any sense why they do that. Especially Joe Biden today. He only went for 8 hours. He went for 8 hours over to Israel, and that seemed to be it. And then he went off. So I don't get that bit, to be totally honest. Well, there was more this other stuff I need to talk about. Like, yeah, I'm just trying to see what should I say for. So, like, there's so much stuff happening in the world, and you see every day. It's beggars belief, literally, how much you see. They try and keep up to date with all this and all that. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, like there's stuff happening in Armenia and the Balkans, though. Well, not the Balkans, the Caucasus, not the Balkans. Like even too, I just seen today. I seen Piers Morgan's on sets as kind of YouTube. He kind of does on sets basically on YouTube. Hello, Sean. And he was talking about. I don't know if you remember Captain Tom. Do you remember in England he done 100 laps of his back garden to raise money for the NHS in England. And obviously he passed away a few last year or the year before that. And so basically, the way they have trusts and things like that set up in different charities' names and stuff like that. And obviously he had two daughters. So basically the daughter was pocketing about nearly €800,000 a year as a trust, basically from his books that was supposed to go to the trust. Like it's beggars belief too, and they bought a spa and everything. It's beggars belief. You literally that they would, do this to the family, to the father's legacy. And what he did. He done a good job in what he did. So Tom Moore was obviously, but the two daughters really have kind of ruined the whole reputation, his whole reputation throughout history, I suppose, for the next decade or two. If that makes sense, I'm probably talking nonsense, but basically, if you know what I'm talking about, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I think it was very disrespectful, now what the daughters did, that they took money out of the charity, and things that, for themselves, I wouldn't mind if it was for the charity, but for themselves and giving them a big fat bonus, and pay and stuff like that. I think that was this, but I don't think he would have wanted that, for them. And especially spending on a spa and stuff like that, like for their own fucking back garden, I never could understand why they would do that, but you never know. Some people are just like that. I don't know. Did I make any sense there at all? I think everybody was too busy saying good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Everybody was just saying good evening. It was 100 good evenings. Yeah, he wasn't supposed to be in there. He was there illegally. Actually, his visa was denied. He wasn't supposed to be in the country. So basically, it was illegal. And that's basically what I said. So anyway, uh, I'm just repeating myself again. But yeah, he was not supposed to be there. First of all, he was supposed to be deported. And see what he did. What he had. And this is what happens when you don't know who's coming in. Again, it's just basic security. Have security checks, background checks, stuff like that. Basic stuff. Like, it's not asking for his life story. You're not asking what he did since he was 1 year old. What school did he go to? Did he go to the local shop? Where did he buy his newspapers? Where did he buy a can of soda? You don't need to know all that, but you need to know the basics of criminal record and stuff like that. Yeah, I seen that in the UK. But thankfully they got him. They didn't apprehend him. They shot him. The police in Belgium. Uh, but basically they neutralized the threat before he killed anybody else. Thankfully, but obviously he killed 2 people before that. So, um, but say I do think he was probably radicalized by Islamic State or other organizations, because obviously the team particularly had something against Swedish people, as we can see. What, my T-shirt? Jack and Jones, yeah. That's what it is. I didn't even know. Yeah, that's what my T-shirt says. Well, what did you think it was? I think I was supporting Fine Gael. I had a bit of vote Fine Gael on my top. Fine Gael, vote Fine Gael, Sean. The Fine Gael, please sponsor. I'm only joking. Yeah, I didn't even notice it. That's when just going. So I just put on any T-shirt I have in the house. See, I would be wearing a jumper, but it's just far too warm in this room to wear a jumper. No, I knew you were going to say something like that. So it's fucking raining. Like, it's literally pissing. Not even raining. It's the word. It's pissing. And it's going to piss tomorrow too. Also, I was. This was the what day was this? Monday. It was Monday evening. I was listening to the local radio station here, in Cavan Inn Sound. Actually, no, it was actually Monday morning. Sorry, it was Monday morning. Yeah, it was in the truck. Yeah, in Cork. Yes, they have it pretty bad in the Cork at the moment. Yeah, like Sweden's having it bad at the moment. There's bombings every day, and God only knows what's happening in Sweden and Stockholm and the different parts of Sweden. I think they're deploying the military to try and stop it. In Sweden, but nobody talks about it, obviously. Um, what was it? So yeah, so about the thing in Roscommon, it was in Castlereagh in County Roscommon, I think it was. This woman rang in about it. There was a homeless man in Castlereagh, and obviously it was a cold night. I think Monday. It was a frost Monday morning. Uh, it was a bad frost. So the homeless man got hypothermia, obviously for being out in the cold. Uh, and basically this woman, seeing that he was struggling to basically function, because he was basically freezing, like literally stone cold. Even though he was still alive, he was still able to speak and stuff like that, but he was stone cold. He had hypothermia. Uh, and she didn't know what to do. And what you would do, I'm sure anybody would do, you ring your local Garda station, you ring a Garda Síochána, or you ring 999, right? And ask for assistance, from a Garda Síochána, obviously. But on Garda Síochána doesn't like going to people nowadays. So the woman literally had to wait. She rang, I think she said at 8 o'clock or something, and then the gal didn't go until 10 o'clock. So they were there for probably nearly 2 hours, 2.5, probably more, nearly 3 hours before the gals turned up. Even though she rang the local Garda station in Castlereagh, which was only 15 minutes away. They didn't have any gals. There's no gals in the country at all in Castlereagh. They didn't send it, even though there's probably 7 of them. I think she said there was 3 or 4 of them in the guards' barracks. They just didn't want to go out to do it. They didn't want to deal with it. There was 3 or 4 of them, and this is a common thing. There's just 4 or 5 gals sitting in the barracks, and there's something going on down the town. They won't go down to it. Simple as that. They're too lazy. That's the problem. They don't want to leave their warm desk. They're just too lazy. So, and then she rang to every Garda district, like for even Cavan Inn, there's a district, Cavan Inn Police District, right? And there's a main dispatch, there's a main dispatch which is in, I think, Monaghan. So if you ring, 999, it will go to the police and authority dispatch for the area. So like in Roscommon, it'll be Roscommon, Galway, and Sligo Leitrim. That'd be the dispatch area for that area, for the different policing zones, for different counties. And she rang them too, and basically the same thing. So basically what I'm trying to say is, on Garda Síochána getting very lazy, and literally if somebody was dying on the street, they wouldn't go to them. But thankfully thankfully the Guards did appear, along with an ambulance. Thankfully they did appear. Because the woman wasn't, I don't think she was thinking on what to do. Like, the man was frozen. And she didn't really know what to do. And obviously, if a member of the public needs assistance, they'll ring on Garda Síochána, because I'm sure she probably didn't know at the time that she was free. Like, he literally had hypothermia. He was nearly dead, to be totally honest. He was nearly dead with the cold. I'm sure she didn't know. She just found a man lying at the side of the road, homeless, and him not moving, and basically not making much of it. Like, he was speaking, but basically not making much movement and things like that. So, remember, the public generally was straight away winging on Garda Síochána. But on Garda Síochána don't want to do anything anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, thankfully a man got help. He was brought to the hospital and stuff like that. But my point is, basically, the Guards are getting useless in this country. Well, we all know that, but if she rang up there and misgendered somebody, if you misgender somebody online or didn't use the pronouns, Jesus Christ, every Guard in Castlereagh would be up there with 50, and to send the army out from Dublin, to send the army Ranger Wing in a helicopter too, and they'll probably they'll probably wing up the British Army and ask for a few tanks too to raid the person's house. Because if you dare misgender somebody or don't use their pronouns, Jesus, that's the highest priority for Garda Síochána. Let's be fair. So if you ever need the Guards, just say you've been misgendered, and they send every Guard in the county after you to help you out. So literally, like, unfortunately, it is. And then there was an incident, just randomly, I'm just talking about this, but then there was an incident about a month ago in Navan in County Meath. The Dublin bus, what they call it? The Dublin bus, it goes up to Dublin from Cavan. It's the main bus going from Dublin to Cavan. The 109, the 109X, that was it. No, it's the 109, not 109X. The 109X goes to Dublin Airport, I think. But basically, there was an incident on the bus, on the 109X, going up to near Navan. I think there was a fight between two men. And basically, obviously, as you would do a bus driver, you would ring on Garda Síochána. We would try and stop the fight and ring the Guards. Because obviously that's a public order. It's that obviously a few fists were thrown and stuff like that. So you would ring on Garda Síochána to come out and sort it out, obviously. So the way to the Nower, outside of Navan. So the way to the Nower, and this is in Navan, just to say. The way to the Nower for the Guards, none of the Guards turned up. No Guard turned up for an hour in Navan. And obviously about 50 people nearly on a bus waiting to go up to Dublin for work, for appointments and things like that. And the Guards didn't bother the arse to go out and do it. And the bus driver just had to go to... he had to bring the bus, basically, along with the people, to Navan Garda Station to get the Guards, to get the people out of the bus, the two people who were causing trouble. So, literally, and then the worst thing about it, and this is going into my next point of what I just said a few minutes ago, that there was 4 Guards in the station. So, generally, what the fuck were them 4 Guards doing just standing around Navan Garda Station when there was a public order incident down the road? Barely even, I think they even said it was about 5 minutes away from the Garda Station in Navan. And none of the Guards were able to go out and see, not even one of them was able to go out and see what's going on in this bus, You think they would. Because, let's be fair, there probably should be always at least one Guard on the desk, on the main desk, if somebody needs assistance and member of the public. But obviously there was 3 Guards just standing around fucking scratching themselves and didn't bother their arse to go out and do anything. So, it's just, and then they came out when he brought the bus along with the people to the Guards' barracks. The 3 of them went out and got the 2 of them and took them into the barracks. So only for that, they probably wouldn't have went out at all. Basically, they would have waited all day, a day on the bus for Garda Síochána decided to turn up. So that's what I'm trying to say. So Garda Síochána are not fucked to do anything anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. And they're useless. Like, that's just 2 incidents alone. Like, I was going to make a whole video on it, but I probably said I shouldn't do it. Because I would probably go too hard on the Garda Síochána, and poor Drew Howes won't be happy. But like them two incidents alone, you just kind of just say the Garda Síochána is going downhill very quickly. Because they're simply not asked to do anything. So, and to keep the peace, that's the motto of the Gauts, keep the peace. Keepers of the peace, sorry, not keep the peace, keepers of the peace. So, great job there, great job, Drew, you're doing well. And that's just 2 instances out of maybe 100. Anyway, what do we think of that? I know I kind of went on talking rubbish for about 10 minutes. Yeah, claro, damn it. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't mind if there was no guards. Like, in that case, in Navan, there was 3 of them still scratching themselves in the barracks. And then obviously, one of them would have to stay in the guard barracks at the desk. I understand that. But there was 3 of them there. They could have went out to the squad camp. They could have went on foot. It's only 5 minutes. They could have went out to see what was the stormings. But they didn't bother to ask to go. And that was the thing. The same in Castlereagh was only 15 minutes away from the guard station. And there was 2 of them sitting in the guard station. Or 4. I think she said 4 of them. They were sitting in the Gauda station in Castlereagh, and none of them went out to bother to see about this man has hypothermia. None of them bothered to go out and look. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's a sad state of affairs when you see the police will go out and see about members of the public winging them for help, for assistance and things like that. They're not bothered to go out and investigate. That's the worst thing about it. Is that they didn't even go to the effort to investigate. That's what I'm saying. So you shouldn't have to wing on Garda Síochána like that woman had to wing the Garda station, and then had to wing the community police and dispatch, basically the main community police for the districts, and she had to wing basically 999 about 3 times before they came. Yeah, that's exactly it. They're afraid to leave the warm station and go out and do solve things. But it's especially because. Especially imagine winging 999 3 times, especially if that poor man could have, he's lucky that he's alive, because he was very badly hypothermia. But he's lucky that he's alive. He is really, really lucky that he's alive. And obviously, only for the member of the public, I don't think Garda Síochána would have cared to do anything about it. So, it's a sad state of affairs. Hello, I do something to do with waving too, yes. How are you doing? Long name, anyway. Hope you're having a good have a Thursday, Wednesday. Forgetting what day of the week is, Joe Biden. We'll be totally honest, we'll find it tomorrow comes again. So, the days are just flying by. Wished. Fine. You got to come, right? Drew's coming for me. The new I misgendered something. I'm only joking, didn't misgender, no. Not yet, no. Ooh. Do I eat blue waffles? No, but do I eat any kind of waffles? Not at all. Speaking of the gals, no, I think it was an ambulance more. Because, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they could do that, they might not be too pleased with me. I don't think they really are, because many times I've criticised the Gardaí very openly. Particularly, as I said before, but that time the car just randomly went on fire at the back of the Garda station. That was involved in a serious crime. And they just happened not to take any fingerprints or anything like that before it went on fire. It's very peculiar, and nothing was captured on CCTV. It was very peculiar how it just, and they just said it happened to go on fire. And then I started asking, there must be a reason why the car just randomly combust in the middle of the night, and nobody sees nobody seen anything, or the CCTV didn't pick up anything, there's got to be a reason, and then they came up with some reason, I presume it's blue waffle. That's what I presume. So, So yeah, I wouldn't be there. Garda Síochána. Well, some of the guards in the town would know me a lot more than some. Well, not for the bad reason, obviously, not for killing people like that. Hello, Kevin. How are we doing? How was our Wednesday going? Uh, so, yeah, you know, that sounded very dangerous, killing people. There's a girl out there, I seen it on Twitter that it was yesterday night, I think. It was last night, in other words. Yesterday night, last night, it would be better to say that. A girl assaulted over a good few years, he assaulted many people. Oh, I know, it's a pissy wet day. Hello, GGG, how you doing? But yeah, he assaulted people, he assaulted members of the public, and he basically resigned his position because he assaulted, I think, a woman and a man over a course of a few years and things like that. So, it just goes to show you a few members of Garda, even though sometimes, in during arrests and stuff like that, people resist and stuff like that. It's understandable that they want to use force in some in some instances, but a lot of the times with Garda Síochána, a good few people in Garda Síochána would just be using force unnecessarily for people that haven't committed the most serious thing. Let's put it that way, like even just robbing, disagreeing with them or something like that. They would use force, so they just don't like him. They just would use force against you. You know. That was smuggling Christmas joy. Yeah, they know about that. They should have the girls paid off. They look the other way with the Christmas jumpers. Actually, speaking of Christmas jumpers, I soon have to send in my bribe to Garda headquarters. Drew was looking for an extra. He was looking for an extra 300,000 a year, to keep the guards off my back. I have to call Leicester too. GTA 5 reference right there. Uh, Obviously, it's going to be harder to keep the PSNI in line because the PSNI don't like me, unfortunately. I think I'm part of Sinn Féin. So, and then we all know exposed. So it'll be that time of the year again, which will be. But yeah, no. But let's take for example, uh, like I've seen many times, like you see even in that time in Ballyfermot, where the Gouda car was rammed by loads of youths and stuff like that. And even in many other instances where girls were assaulted and stuff like that. And the girls basically wouldn't fight back against the people who were actually assaulting them, Like, generally if somebody hits you in the face and they keep hitting you and stuff like that, you have the right to hit them back to get them off and to push them away and stop them from hitting you or to stop you from severely injuring you and stuff like that. It's the same with regards to they're afraid to do. Like in Ballymun, take for example, not Ballymun, Ballyfermot at that time the car was rammed. If that was a protest, say for example, somebody was protesting, have the public order unit, like take for example, there was an eviction there on Dublin the other day. Now obviously there was squatting on the house and stuff like that, so I do disagree with squatting and stuff like that. But obviously they shouldn't have been there because they were basically trespassing. They shouldn't have been in private property, squatting. Let's call it that. They shouldn't have been there squatting. And they said the whole shebang. They said about 100 cops along with the public order unit, loads of cops and stuff like that. Basically, half of Dublin City police force was there to put a stop to them. About 15 of them there, squatting in the bed, and they said, "Oh, the public order unit in the country." And then when there's actually people causing harm and stuff, causing damage and causing uproar and ruckus and stuff like that, they won't send any girls out at all to deal with them. So I don't know. It's a weird system the way we police this country. Also, Drew Howard shouldn't be still in a Garda Síochána, just to say. He should be given the boot a few weeks ago. He shouldn't be still there. Like, he is still there. Let's just say that in a moment. He's still, like, he is literally there, even though they voted 99%. And these are the higher ups. These are not the only grut in the Garda Síochána that's on the beat. These are the superintendents and sergeants, that voted 99% to get rid of him, That doesn't look good when you ask the only Joe on the street too. It's not looking good. And obviously get rid of Helen McEntee when you're at it. You might as well get rid of the whole lot of them. Oh yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, sorry, I missed your message today. I was going on too much talking about different things. I just happened to look up and seen it there. See, I'm too busy looking down when the comments are coming in, and then I'm too busy rambling on for a few minutes, and then I never get time to talk. You know. So yeah, so there'll be a live stream tomorrow on a game, just to say. So probably around this time, maybe a bit earlier. It's hard to know. I don't know when the DLC is coming out for, but we play it for a while. We see how we get on, and we see from there. And obviously the next time, I think we'll go with Wednesdays and Saturdays, the days we'll be live. So Wednesday will be good and that. Speed one. Oh no, we'll not do a speed one. I hardly that we could nearly even do a speed. I say it'd be only an hour or two of content. Basically, it will be much. I hardly that it'd be a big, huge DLC with new expansions and stuff like that. It's just going to be better. I say it's just going to be few missions, few new extra missions, and that'll be it. There's not really going to be anything else. I don't think. So, like it's probably not going to be too much. Let's put that way. It's going to be probably fun for an hour or two, and then after that, there'll be nothing really else to do. Like it's the same with the new Assassin's Creed. I was going to do it, but I was like, it's it's a bit boring. Like that new Assassin's Creed. There was a game I was planning to do. It's kind of more relaxed, but it's only about 20 hours or so. I probably put up a poll maybe to see what people want to see it, because it's more relaxed and it's kind of very unusual game I would play and stuff like that. But it'd be fun, I think, for a while. I put up a poll about it, and we'll see what people think about it. I will do that at some stage, not this week now, but maybe some other week. Coming up to Christmas now, we'll try and get it out of the way. I think there's actually a DLC coming out for that game too, as I'm speaking, for Christmas. So it'll be probably a good time to maybe do it if I know when it's coming out. It said before December, sometime near December. So if I know that, we probably could do it in November, and then we do the Christmas DLC in December. So yeah, also I'm working in the background with the Christmas cards this year. We have all the Christmas cards anyway. I do have your man who made the picture behind me doing a job for me at the moment, I will say that. So we have to see what that happens. I say it'll be the beginning of next month before I have the thing I'm looking for at the moment to send along with the Christmas cards for this year. So all going well, we have it by November and stuff, and then probably by the end of November we can start seeing who wants them, and we can send them out at sometime before the middle of another what? The middle of before Christmas, I know. Sometime a week or two before Christmas or so. Oh no, you see when it comes. I'll show you as soon as it comes. But it'll be another week. It'll be another few weeks, I know. It'll be sometime in November, I know. And then we can kind of get started on that kind of thing. But I still think it'll be another few weeks. It's not ready yet with that, okay. But they'll be sent along with the Christmas cards, and we have the Christmas cards here. They'll be sent along with it, if that makes any sense. Everybody's gone very quiet now. All of a sudden, a few minutes ago, everybody was talking on top of each other when I was talking about different things. Now, as soon as I stopped talking, everybody's quieted down a bit. And then, as soon as I stopped talking about something else, everybody bouncing in at 200 miles an hour. What am I doing here? Who? Interesting. But all I'm going to say about the pin, when you asked about the pin badges, it's not going to be pin badges. We did think about doing something like that, but I don't think we should probably send pins in the post. You know, it wouldn't look too good. So we kind of have thought outside the box, a bit. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say too much, but you see when it comes in. It'd be better to explain this also. What the fuck are you doing? Who's speed running you talking about? Who's doing speed ones? I remember when Dark 5A you used to do GTA 5 speed ones. He should go back to doing it, but I don't think he ever will, unfortunately. He does the odd one, I think, for different categories, but I don't think he'll ever go back to the 100% one. I don't know, people probably don't know what I'm not, but if you know, you know, I suppose. If you know, you know. Pillows. It's not going to be pillows. It'd be some price now if we were selling. We were, along with the Christmas card, we were giving people pillows for Christmas. Like, it would be literally, we'd be bankrupt, basically. Did I just come in there now? I did at 9 o'clock. Oh no, that's a few minutes ago. I only came in there, so my chat is glitched. Oh, it's banjoed. It's banjoed. Banjoed. Like that can't. Yeah. Oh no, you're a minute. Well, it's a minute behind. I think the chat. Hello there, Fiona. How are we doing? What am I doing? What have I done, Mr. Buchanan? What was one, now is two. Nintendo 64. Jeez, what do I look like? Fucking, I don't know. SS Sniper Wolf with billions in the bank. Also, SS Sniper Wolf is just casually continuing on, even though she broke the law. She doxed somebody and basically took a picture of the house and put it up on her Instagram with millions and millions of followers. And basically, she's acting like nothing's ever happened. It's all Gucci. Nothing's happened at all. It's crazy stuff. So, and the fact YouTube too won't demonetize her or even give her a community guidelines strike is ridiculous. And we have to just address the elephant in the room. It's just that YouTube, because she's so big with her 30 million subscribers, YouTube doesn't, and she's the golden girl of kind of YouTube. YouTube's just it has favoritism to give her a strike or do anything. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, she didn't live stream it. She kind of went to his house. So first of all, she doxed him. She found out where he lived and went to his house. And then she put up a picture. Didn't live stream it. She put up a picture of his house, with the number of his house and things and everything. She has nearly 4 or 5 million followers on Instagram. So you think about that for a second. Like, that's a huge audience, and then only Joe's seeing it too. And especially because that's out there. That's going to be forever out there. Somebody's took a screenshot of that and saved and stuff like that. And this is a big YouTuber. Like, this is not a small YouTuber, like, with only 15 subscribers or something. This is a big YouTuber doing it. Like, you think she would have a bit of common sense, and a bit of manners, first of all. Especially because I don't understand what she wanted to gain from him. Like, we're just trying to frighten him. Like, I don't know how she didn't know what she was doing, first of all. That it was against the law. Like, it literally is against the law for, Hello, David. Sorry, I was too busy talking. How are you doing? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope all's going well with you. Yeah, yeah, it would have been. It was on our story on Instagram. Yeah, that's right, I suppose. Yeah, but like obviously the person that's involved, they should basically sue her. But and YouTube should take action because obviously YouTube does have. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the terms and service of YouTube, but say if I go out now in the morning and shoot six people, right, and just randomly on the street, right, thinking it's GTA or something like that. And they're just saying, for example, I'm not saying I wish to go around to that. Um, but say if I did, there is a policy on YouTube. Say if I did that, they could take down my channel, even though I didn't show it on a live stream or on a video or things like that. Because they have a policy if you do something that hurts the community, YouTube community, or affects people in real life, like something that really affects people and hurts people in real life, YouTube can take down your channel for that because it's in the community guidelines. So say if I did do that and cause so basically be a mass shooting, they could say, this fellow affected the community and it's affected the YouTube community, we can take down his channel. Which they have it because it's in the community guidelines. And that's literally what everybody signs up to, the community guidelines when you're on YouTube. That you follow them rules and stuff, even outside of YouTube, And obviously as a sniper wolf broke the rules straight away because that's in the community guidelines. So either her channel be took down or demonetized, but mainly should be demonetized, where she wouldn't get any revenue or anything like that. Because it's eye-watering how much money she gets a year, 50 million or something like that a year from YouTube and from revenue and from other things, like from our ads and stuff on YouTube and sponsorships and stuff. Like, it's insane. Like, this is one of the biggest YouTubers. Just to say, this is not a small YouTuber. This is one of 30-something million subscribers, just to say, on YouTube. And then on Instagram and other social media platforms, like, you're looking at 50 million people probably follow up. Oh no, and I'm just saying that. Oh no, consider what? That's slanderism. Oh yeah, and then the best thing about it when Sniper Wolf came out with it on her Instagram saying she doesn't know how to dox people, even though she did it. Like, let's be fair. And then she literally was like, this is the thing she literally said. People who say I doxed them are making defamatory statements and stuff like that. No, she didn't use defamatory. She did defaming me, even though she did it. Like, she did it, and she put it up on her own story that she broke the law, and she'd seen people who were calling her out, being defamatory, basically making up lies. Even though she did it on her own social media, like, I wouldn't mind if she just did it without putting it on social media and stuff like that. We couldn't really prove it then. It'd be hearsay. But she literally done it on her own story, but it's there in black and white. Like, it's crazy. And particularly, again, the worst thing about it is that basically there's no consequences. Nothing's been done. YouTube hasn't done anything. People have called her out, YouTubers and stuff like that have called her out. If you look up her name on YouTube, you'll probably find a million videos at the moment about it. But YouTube hasn't took any action, hasn't denounced it or anything like that. I'm sure probably I'm sure the fellow Jack's Films would take a lawsuit out against them for because obviously it caused probably him distress and his wife distressed, and I'm sure anybody would, if you or me would go through that too, if somebody just turned up, especially when she had such a big following, 5 million people. One person, it only takes one person to turn up at his house with a gun, because again, it is America, we have to understand it, or do how break in or into that. It just don't know. It only takes one person out of them 5 million to go and take it too far, and because he knows where the house is now, because they've seen the photo and stuff like that. Instagram, take example. He can just go and do it. Simply, he can literally just go to the house because he's seen it. He probably has a screenshot or whatever. And that's the scariest thing about it. So I'm sure they can take out a big multi-million lawsuit against them for. Obviously, she did break the law for herself for stress. What would you call it? We're probably violating the possible space first of all, and then she could sue them for many millions. Let's put that. The family, Jack's Films and his wife could sue them for many millions. No, it doesn't happen that often now, but years ago there wasn't a law against it. But where he was in California, there's a law against it. There's a law, it's in statutory offence. that it is there, it isn't the law. I think it even is law here too. That you can't just go and put people's addresses on social media and stuff like that. You simply can't do that. You can't dox people. It's against the law even take here. But I think it's more serious in where she did in California, in the state she did it, than over here. But I'm sure you still would be fine with consequences if you done it. But but years ago it was done. It was done often. I remember YouTubers and Twitch streamers would get swatted live. But there's laws against that. You can't do that nowadays. The majority of the country there's laws to protect people from that, and you can be arrested and fined for it. But the majority of the Western world there's laws against it. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the days of the past. Yeah, you definitely will. So I definitely see like if there ever was a lawsuit to be filed, it's you basically just shot yourself in the foot, you know, because it's there. All the evidence literally there, and then she literally said she turned up to it, you know. So you don't really need anything else, and there's video evidence, the photo evidence, multiple things, um, and he has CCTV footage and so. So basically, it's just an open shut case. So you can sue for 15, 20 million. Just take it to the bank. But again, the other side of this too is that she's so famous and stuff like that, and so influential that the judge might rule in her favor because she has such a big following and such a big influence, and YouTube might nudge the judge a bit to favor contact with him, you know. It could happen. Simple as that. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna run down and get myself tea. Never mind, sorry. I get tea in a few minutes. Yeah, but obviously it's still a crime. You can't really. Well, it's more doxing than swatting, I suppose, because that's when somebody makes a fake call to the police and stuff like that. Like that's against the law because obviously you're wasting police resources, and obviously the police can track somebody's phone that you ring 999 or 911. They can track it to who made the call and stuff like that. So I think that's really a thing in the past, and obviously there's a. I think it's a felon. I think it's a federal crime, is it? In the United States, in some places, that it's a federal crime. Hey, but the worst thing about it is that she's just going on like nothing ever happened. Like if you look up one of her videos at the moment and just look at the comments section and stuff like that, and the fact that she's just refusing to acknowledge or even just do anything, you know. Oh, she got the White House, definitely. She got the White House, but she shouldn't have went in the first place. That's my point too. Like she, obviously, if she even got the wrong house and put a picture up online about it, the owner of that house could sue for multi-million dollars because obviously somebody would probably go to their house. Out of them 5 million people, she has on Instagram. Yeah, she's stealing content from other YouTubers too. So obviously there's no crime against that, but obviously it's not the right thing to do. Steal other people's content and just react to it and be like, oh wow, and that's all she adds to it. Oh wow, oh great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Out of them 5 million people, there could be just one fella there who's not well. You know, that could do it. Simple as that. It only takes one, and that's the point. That's the point I'm making. That it's a very dangerous thing. Especially because she should have knew that. Before she done it, that she was doing something absolutely immoral and illegal at the highest level. So I'm just reading something on Twitter. What time are we at? It's only half nine. But yeah, so it's just insane. Like like I don't even think I would do something what Sniper Wolf did. Like I wouldn't do it anyway. Because especially because it is online just thing, and it should really stay online. It should be sorted out online instead of going into the real world. That's the thing too about it. Especially because he wasn't doing anything really that bad. Like he wasn't threatening to kill her family or anything like that. He was literally just pointing out that she's stealing other people's content and basically making easy bucks and doing nothing for it, and basically just rigging the system in favor of her. You know, and that's how he was pointing out. Like he wasn't doing anything, but it's nothing illegal he was doing. In terms of nothing justified what she did, basically. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I know, but it's something more than just being annoyed. I think it's far more than just being annoyed, frustrated. You know, something more to it. Like I'm sure she knew what she was doing was too far. She took it too far. I'm sure she knew it when she done it. I'm sure she actively knew it. It's not like she took it too far or something like that. She must have like she actually went. She actually seeked him out and stuff like that. Like that's the effort she went to get. So whatever me she said was on Google and stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. Apparently so, but we don't talk about that unfortunately. Apparently so, but we're not allowed to talk about them things. So, and it's all rigged, Like there's only one woman who could be the woman of the year. There's only one woman that could be. Even though when you see this, it's all rigged. When you know she doesn't win it. So, excuse me, sorry, bad cough. Oh no! Actually, give me a second, son. I just had a look at this. Also, I'm just been reliably informed uh, that there's a video going around with Sniper Wolf from about 5 to 10 years ago or so. Uh, I thought I'm not even going to describe it, but basically, you probably should look it up. Basically, because I think the FBI should probably look into it. So that's all I say. So probably look it up. It's not she done an armed robbery. She was arrested once for armed robbery, but it's not even that. There's another thing she done like on a Omega. Do you remember Omega where you could just meet random people online? It was just kind of like you could meet people and talk to people online. Like it was a random thing. She done something to a few. She said something very inappropriately to two young teenagers, I suppose, and it's only been uncovered now. Uh, so basically, look that video up if you can. I'm not going to go into the details of it because it is very graphic, particularly when she was an adult at the time. These people were in their teens, so technically still a child in terms of they're probably only about 15 or so. So the FBI should probably look into it. Just be 2 seconds. I'm actually just looking at it now just to verify that it is it. But that's supposed to what I'm seeing at the moment. And it seems to be true because a few people have covered it, a few news articles and stuff have covered it. So, and it seems like it was up on our YouTube channel back in the day. And somebody only uncovered it there. So, I just give me a second. So, I just let you hear this for a second.
I don't think that she's gonna see any punishment from YouTube over
Not,
this.
not this,
However,
but the next one.
because of this whole thing, it looks like some people have been digging into some of her older videos, and I ended up getting tagged in this post here. I mean, this dude just had to like tag the entire commentary Avengers. Sniper Wolf is being accused of commercial sexualization of minors after a video she posted back in 2014 has resurfaced, where she asked the young-looking individuals, allegedly minors, to twerk in exchange for favors, showing her breasts at around 12:30 EST. She privated it. So you guys know how people go on to Omega.
So, yeah, take that as you will, but I think the FBI should probably maybe look into this too. And, you know, like, something fishy there, let's put that. And I think that might be a federal crime, so I would nobody goes to Egypt. Nobody likes going to Egypt anyway. Nobody likes Egypt. They don't say, like it's the hellhole of tourism. Nobody would go there. You get treated like a criminal. You know, out of Egypt. Like they treat literally every foreigner like a criminal. Like you talk about everybody talks about racism in this country and stuff like that. Like if we went over there, everybody that's not Egyptian gets treated like human doctor. You know, yeah, but like literally, and this is proof of it. There's a video, and I'm not gonna show you the video, but it's a bit sus. It's a bit sus, especially because she used to have it up on her channel and she deleted it. You know. Oh, I know, but the Egyptian government are not the best people to know to talk to give to be talking to, I suppose. So I don't know. I say the Egyptian government to be that disingenuous that they'll probably just take the money and wouldn't do anything then. You know, they would just say, no, we're not going to open them. Like, they'd be always what more, you know, they'd be like Zelensky. You give them 50 billion euro and they would still like, what, 50 billion more. You know, the Egyptian government and the can near the worst government in the world, even though the Irish government are really pushing it. You know, they're not the people that you want to kind of associate with in any sense. Like in general, the Egyptian authorities are the most crooked fuckers you could come across. Because if you went to Egypt, the authorities would treat you worse than the people in the street. Well, she didn't. She didn't. What basically was, I don't know if you. She basically said to the two young lads, which I say they were about 15 or 16 at the time, to truck for, you know, it's very hard to say, but, and she would show her melons, let's call it that. So basically, and obviously shouldn't, and a woman of 30 something at the time, coming along and saying to a child at 16, or I presume they were around 16, they weren't 18, I don't think. They don't do any older than 18. You know, is, you're a very sus, you know, and the FBI should probably look into it very quickly. Because, you know, it's very sus, like, you know. Yeah, like, and particularly again, the thing I said about earlier on, Kevin, Joe Biden went off to Israel and he was there for 8 hours and then he flew back to the United States. So really, what was the point? You know, he could have done it online and stuff like that and saved the emissions. Because imagine the amount of emissions that come from Air Force One, you know, and stuff like that. You know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Egyptian, hello, you get scammed every 10 seconds, and the Egyptian authorities be treated like an enemy of the state, literally. Somebody literally brought in, I don't know what it was, camera equipment. They were doing filming in Egypt, you know, in the desert and the pyramids and stuff like that. And they were treating like a fucking spy. And basically, they had a walkie talkie. That walkie talkies to communicate because there was a good few of them. And they were doing shots and there was photographers and stuff like that. And they had a permit from the Egyptian government, from the Department of Foreign Affairs of Egypt, to film in Egypt. They had every right under the sun to film in Egypt and stuff like that because they had a permit from the government, their own government. And the police and the airport security treated like the literally were terrorists and took the radio equipment and camera equipment and everything and actually made them pay thousands of euro to get it back, even though they had no justification to take it off them in the first place, just because they wanted the money off them because they were Americans and they wanted the money, them dollars, you know. So literally the worst place you could go in the world, Egypt. But yeah, him and Ryan probably said we had to pay extra carbon tax now because of this. Oh, I'm not saying, but well, yeah, Egypt would be an Arab country, wouldn't it? It would be technically, yeah. Like the Egyptian government would pretend to people over the biggest tourist spot in the world and stuff like that. When you go there, it's very different. But you know. But yeah, so basically, SS Sniper Wolf. I think Fiona said her daughter used to watch SS Sniper Wolf. So basically, what I'm trying to say, if anybody sees any young child or anything watching SS, because that's really what, at the end of the day, and what really bugs me about this, I know I keep talking about it, that whole audience at the moment, a lot of her audience at the moment, is young teenagers, 10-year-olds, maybe, God forbid, 5-year-olds and stuff like that. Because she kind of makes family friendly, pretends to be family friendly content, just reacting to funny TikToks and stuff like that. And obviously, a parent of looking at it and don't know really social media that much or thinks that they have a working life and stuff. They'd be like, oh, this YouTuber just watches TikToks and stuff like that. And just ha 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 funny things and stuff like that for children. She like the parents be like, oh, there's nothing wrong, but it's a sinister background to that. Not even alone with doxing somebody, you know. You shouldn't be supporting somebody that done that. And then obviously this video that came out. And then obviously a few things Sniper Wolf did in the past. As I said before, there was a dying fan of us. That literally the people who like her that made her get into the position she is today. And this is a few last year or so. and she was dying of cancer. And SS Sniper Wolf kept just kicking it down the road because she was supposed to meet up or have a FaceTime with SS Sniper Wolf for a few minutes, and just kept kicking it down the road, and the girl was actively dying from cancer. And thankfully she did meet up in the end. But again, it took a few weeks before she got around to doing it. SS Sniper Wolf is not the person that should probably be on the YouTube community and should be getting paid for what she does. And that's just saying it straight. At most, what she should do, even though she might not face legal consequences or whatever, she should just say that's the end of YouTube. I'm retiring, and just be gone forever off social media. That would be the best thing for everybody if she done that. No, not probably going to happen. They opened a new female prison in Limerick, I think, yeah. Well, they need a lot more prisons, I know. There's no prison any left in the country. All the prisons are overcrowded. No, don't do that now. Don't do that. Bum 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 bum. Dun, 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 dun. I said we'd be live for another few minutes anyway. We chat among ourselves for a few minutes. I suppose why I don't really talk about the conflict in the Middle East at the moment is that it's a complicated matter now. And I suppose from an Irish perspective too, we probably shouldn't be sticking our nose into the war zones, I suppose. Obviously, there's crimes to be committed, crimes against humanity, and war crimes have been committed, and obviously they should be investigated, because we should obviously ask for that. But anything like actively talking about it, I suppose, too much. I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly what it is too. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like literally, it's like you see with female streamers and stuff like that. Literally, Sips would literally give their left leg to be with them for 5 minutes. Yeah, obviously we should call out war crimes and stuff like that, like what happened at the hospital, regardless of who done it. Regardless of what side, whoever did it needs to be put on trial because there's a war crime that they committed, regardless of what side did it. Or even the war crime before that Hamas did with killing the young Irish woman, kidnapping and stuff like that. War crimes. Obviously, Ireland should be saying the only thing we should be kind of interfering with is saying these people who done this need to be brought to justice. But apart from that, we shouldn't be getting involved. Because it is a very complicated thing that could escalate at any moment in the Middle East. So that's why I'm not talking too much about it, because generally I don't really know what to say about it. And generally from an Irish perspective too, I don't think we should, because it's a hard one too, because you are a neutral country. Obviously, as I say, you should denounce war crimes and stuff, and obviously want people to be brought to justice who commit war crimes. But apart from that, you don't I don't like seeing fight. That's exactly it too. Nobody likes seeing war and torture and suffering. But obviously, Ireland, as I always said before, Ireland should always be a country that always wants peace. Wants other countries to see eye to eye and try and work things out. But unfortunately, in this particular instance, I don't know how would you be able to work it out. It's a very sensitive thing. It's a different kind of thing. It's how to find words, and it's a complicated thing. It is awful complicated, and that's why I think it's best for Ireland as a country to stay out of it as much as possible. And as I say, obviously denounce war crimes and say people should be put. Obviously, with the killing of over 900 at this stage, people, innocent civilians, children and stuff in the hospital, regardless of who did it, it's a war crime. Like, it is a war crime, and whoever's responsible should be held accountable for it. Not directly hit. Oh, I know it might not have been directly hit, but I suppose it's the fact that it happened, I suppose. But yeah, I was going to go into all this talk with incident and stuff like that. Like, I just don't really know what to take it for the video answer. But the one thing I'm worried about too, I'm worried about particularly if it goes into Lebanon, if it spills into Lebanon. Obviously, there's Irish troops in the Golden Heights in Lebanon, on the United Nations missions, and obviously, you do worry about the troops being injured or hurt, God forbid. Again, it only takes a walker to go to a wrong place or go off course. It can happen easily enough. So I don't know, but. But that's really all I'm going to say, really, on the. Usually, I would talk a lot about different things. But generally, I really don't know what to think of it or what to say at the moment. So that's why I haven't really said too much, rather. The true sense, yeah, that's what I'm saying, but, you know, something could happen. We were even in the Congo and stuff like that. They didn't think the Irish troops were going to have to go through hell and back in the Congo and stuff like that. Like, things can escalate very quickly. So that's what I'm just saying too. So I don't know. And then obviously Ireland would have to take a very active role if something happened. To Irish troops in in Lebanon at the moment. You know. So. Oh, we know that too, but I suppose it can't be. Oftentimes I do feel to myself that we should look more inward and stuff like that. But I suppose at the end of the day, we can't be blind to the things that happen outside of the country. We can't just pretend that. I know we should be looking inwards first before looking outwards and stuff like that. That makes sense. But at the same time, you can't really, especially when it makes such a difference, like to the whole world. An incident or something like that, like war and stuff like that. You generally really can't pretend that it doesn't exist. Even though I would wish it. We could focus on our toner matters and stuff like that. But it's always kind of going to be in the background. It's going to kind of be a looming thing over it, regardless of what you do in society nowadays. It's always going to be a looming thing, even though you talk about homelessness and stuff like that. It's kind of always going to be in the background, if it makes any sense. Because it is a thing that is affecting people and stuff like that, and obviously it's going to, even on the thoughts of Irish people and stuff like that, it's going to be on their mind and stuff. Oh, I know. I agree with you. Like, we should be focusing internally first, but at the same time, what I'm trying, I said that already, but we can't really be blind to other things too, I suppose. Like we can't just really just turn in on ourselves and not really engage with the whole world, like the Japanese did for a long time. And things, even though I think it would be best for the country nearly if we did that, just focus on ourselves and not worry about any other country and things like that. But in the modern society now, it's years ago you could do it, but you really can't do it nowadays. You know. Oh yeah, but we should obviously shouldn't be sending billions over. We should obviously send some aid, obviously, of course. But I'm not saying send billions and billions and billions of euros that Ireland doesn't have. Because that doesn't have to send, first of all. You know, that's my point. There's always sending a few med kits and stuff like that. Or other stuff. But, we simply don't have the resources here for the hospitals, let alone, helping a country that's at war, And not even that homelessness and stuff like that. Oh no, but I'm talking about way in the 1800s back, before even the American Civil War and stuff like that. Like Japan, before were isolated, basically only had contact with the Dutch settlers and stuff like that in the Dutch East Indies and stuff like that. And before America came along and said you have to open up Japan to trade and stuff like that. This is way back before the War of 1812 or something like that. Like Japan before that didn't engage with the rest of the world. It just kind of was on its own island and you stayed away from the West and the whole world. And then obviously America came along and said to Japan, you have to trade with us or we invade you and stuff like that. So it's a long story, but. Oh yeah, exactly too. It's not nice, especially when children are involved and people that are unarmed and stuff like that. You know, you can't really sit on the fireside and say nothing at the same time because you think of your own family and you do think of your own villages and towns and stuff like that. You think if you were in their situation and stuff like that, it does come to your mind. Even though you be saying, "Oh, we should," even we should focus on your own country and stuff like that. But it still be at the back of your mind somewhere. It still would say, if this happened here, what would we do? And things like that. It would still be on your mind. It's still something you wouldn't get rid of. It's not nice to see people suffering. It isn't it? That's as simple as that. I wish there was understanding in the world and peace in the world, but there's so many different religions and different groups. Years ago you could find common ground, but nowadays people are so divided on different things. Particularly, again, we all know the governments are really to blame for a lot of this too, the NGOs and stuff like that, because they push division and separation in society to them different religions and different things, making people actively hate each other. Like it basically race splitting, if you may use that, and other things too, and other aspects of religion and stuff like that. But at the same time, you never want to see anybody hurt at the same time. You don't want to, because at the end of the day, we are actually all human. As Santa Marin said, we are human. I'm human. You know. Yeah, like we have to be fair when we say about the Middle East too and stuff like that, particularly that part of the region, Lebanon and Palestine and Jordan and different countries like that. All of that used to be French and British colonial possessions back in the day. Uh, and it does really stem from, I know I sound like a lefty or something like that here, but it does stem from really colonialism and stuff like that too. When obviously when the British and French handed over, uh, say for example Syria, the French handed over possession to the Syrian government when they got their independence. It's the same in Israel and stuff like that. You know, in Egypt and stuff, the British government handed control to the Israeli government, to the Egyptian government, to the Jordan government, and basically, it's a long story, but basically divisions and stuff happened, and it basically unsettled the region for a long time, and especially because the British and French promised stuff and they never delivered on it too. I know it sounds like such a lefty, but at the end of the day, majority of these problems do boil down to the old imperial kind of system of colonization and stuff like that. Like, we kind of see it here too, in Ireland. Like, Ireland's nearly a good example too. The division of the country, the six counties and stuff like that. Obviously, there's still kind of one in the Northern Ireland, the troubles in Northern Ireland. All because we were conquered with the British, and you even look at the Irish language, non-existent really at the moment. Colonialism does have effect on the country. Like even the scars 100 years on from the War of Independence and from the Civil War and stuff, they were all caused by really colonialism at the end of the day, another country taking over another country's land. And that's what really started the other thing. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the way I see it in my head, I suppose. Hello, guys. Sorry, I'm too busy talking nonsense, I think, to answer. Well, since 1922, yeah. Well, Ireland became, what do you call them? A dominion of the British Empire and getting total independence in 1936. And then it was, so about 100 years you could say, because it was the Irish Free State in 1922. Technically still in the Commonwealth, and remember technically had the swearing allegiance to the King basically in 1936, when Bundock Heron was signed the Constitution of Ireland, basically proclaiming the Irish Republic, basically proclaiming a free state, like a total free state with a president and a Taoiseach, and taking out the King of the Constitution. It's basically 1936. You would probably say Ireland was a total republic, but you could say 1922 too, because it technically was. It had its own army, had its own government. It's that. So more than basically 101 years or so. Are you talking to me, Fiona, or who are you talking to, Sean? Yeah, like it would be nice to speak out, but again, the thing about it, when you speak out, you need to kind of be brought up in your own native language, and a lot of families didn't have that. Hello, Shawnee. I'm keeping that. I'm not too bad, but you see what I'm saying. That all bears down to colonialism too, because obviously we wouldn't really be speaking English if the British didn't come over here and colonize us and stuff like that. And I know it sounds like such a lefty, but it's true, I suppose. Yeah, it's a lot. Ireland's a lot older than 101, but as an independent country where we are at the moment, maybe around 101. Ireland existed way back. I know that way back. Like maybe nearly one of the oldest countries like in the world. Obviously, you look at Newgrange and stuff like that. Like before even the pyramids of Egypt and stuff like. So there was Irish people here, long, long ago. But yeah, that's just my. And then obviously the separation of Northern Ireland to the Republic of Ireland, and it all bears down to colonialism. If England never colonised Ireland, we probably would be united, and probably have our own Gaelic language. Obviously, some of us will speak English. Obviously, would inevitable that we would speak English, but a lot of history would have been saved and stuff like that. And a lot of suffering would have been saved. Yeah, I said the Irish language would be older than the English language, yeah. But if that makes any sense. Oh, sorry, this land. Sorry, guys. This land is this ends my. Yeah, that's the what's the America the Beautiful or something. That's the song name. Yeah, this land was made for you and me. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, this land. Yeah. I think that's what it's. I've often heard the song. But basically, what I'm saying is, you can always look to the past to see why countries are disabled, destabilized, and fighting among each other and stuff like that. Like it's always when you look back at history, you see what was the reasons why it was. Like obviously, I'm not saying Ireland's destabilized. Obviously, it is kind of fucked. Let's put it that way. By the government, but again, it's the government who will blame for that. Oh yeah, the Irish rugby team is doing that. It's like it's inevitable that Irish unity will happen at some point in the future. It's inevitable. When will it be? That's the next question. But what I'm trying to say is, if Britain never colonised Ireland, there would have been no Northern Ireland. We would be probably a whole country. You know, that's to say, if colonisation never happened. And the same with the Middle East and stuff like that. If countries just were left to their own devices to do their own things, it'd be a different world, I suppose. But then again, you could say the British invented a lot of things, and only for the British colonising the French and stuff like that. The world probably would be a different place because the British invented a lot of stuff when they colonised the world and stuff like that. Different stuff. You could argue that we probably would be behind in technology wise and different things. I don't know. I think I'm talking nonsense. Taken from the greatest book ever. But there is a song, like there's a song about it too. Like I've heard the first. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York. Yeah. This land was made for you. Yeah, like the EU, it wouldn't. You could argue that. Yeah, you could argue that they are colonizers. And I say we go at 10 o'clock, so another probably 10 minutes or so, and then we chip on. We see we got too busy talking about the Middle East and stuff, and colonization and stuff like that. We lost track of what we're doing. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying too. Like, it's different cultures and stuff like that. I suppose had more autonomy and stuff like that. Like I know the Ottoman Empire used to rule a lot of the Balkan thing with Greece and Montenegro and well not Serbia, but Bulgaria was Ottoman. A lot of was conquered by the Ottomans and stuff. Like a lot of them would have probably had a bit more freedom than I suppose the Irish had throughout the centuries. And I suppose too was to do with the famine too. I suppose a lot of people went over to America, and obviously a lot of Americans spoke English. Like it's a long thing you could say. I don't know. I think it's too complicated for me to talk about colonialism and stuff like that. I don't think I'm educated. We're not really educated enough. But I don't think I can go that deep into the roots of things like that. I don't think I'm that good at doing that. But just the way I kind of see it. I don't know. I might be wrong, but that's just the way I kind of see it from looking at history and different things. So don't shoot the message. Yeah, like that's literally it too. That's it too. Like we have to admit too, like the famine basically was really a genocide. Like it was. I know we use that word a lot nowadays, but it basically was because there's a lot of arguments, but a lot of the historical research has been done. You know, that suggests that it was, and I kind of have the opinion it was kind of too. Because especially if you think of it at the time, the British Empire was the biggest empire in the world. Uh, and they could have done something if they wanted to do something. That's the thing. And especially when they were exporting so much wheat out of Ireland at the time, when there was a famine in the country. Especially because again, they were the biggest empire in the world. They could have done something sooner if they really wanted to do something. I know we're getting into hot topics now as well. But I could go on and on. But that's probably another night's talk. Leitrim used to be a colony of Cavan, the kingdom of Breffni. Cavan used to rule over Leitrim, a bit of a manor. So, technically, Leitrim was only for Cavan colonising Leitrim. Leitrim wouldn't exist at the moment. Because the only for us, this is very hot topics now. I get demonetized now. Helen McAdee's going to arrest me. Leitrim owns Cavan. Oh no, they don't. It's more that Cavan has rightful claims to Leitrim land. Obviously being from the kingdom of Breffni. Yeah, we brought civilization to Leitrim. Only for us, Leitrim wouldn't exist. So I don't know if it makes sense, but what I was talking about. I know it was a very hot topic. I probably shouldn't have got into the hot topics. Particularly on YouTube, I probably shouldn't be talking too much about it. Have to kind of know how to shut my mouth sometimes. When I say a bit too much, probably. So, the loan, I had to get a tape recorder or something, and with tape, I had to get tape and put it over my mouth when I was saying too much. But I say we'll probably go in a few minutes, then. So, anything else before we go? Any other fun? So just to say, tomorrow we will be live tomorrow, just to say too, on a game, just to say. No, no. Oh dear, I've been exposed. We'll betray. Oh dear, it's getting very political all of a sudden. YouTube will come in now with the ban hammer. They'll be coming in now to say, oh, this is disgraceful. So yeah, anything else apart from giving up a Cavan Crowley or something? Oh dear. Also, I couldn't find my relaxing music, so just to say, I usually would have that on in the background, but I couldn't find it for some reason, wherever I went. Like, I had the same problem the last time I put it on. I couldn't find it. For the life of me, literally for the life of me, I don't know where it is. So, I have to find the playlist, because it keeps going missing on me. It's like number 40, just disappearing track. So yeah, I think we might call it there for tonight. I think we've talked a lot. Well, I probably talked a lot of nonsense for half of it. About different things. I probably said too much. That's the problem. I probably said too much. And they will say, I. What about talk? That's grand. That's the typical Irish reaction. Oh, that's grand. That's grand. That's grand. That's grand. That's literally the most Irish reaction. You say, oh, that's grand. Jesus is grand there, Johnny. Do you have enough drink in your glass? That's grand, Johnny. Thank you. Yeah. So, I think that's all we will. But again, 9. Aye. It's like House of Commons. What do they say in the House of Commons? Yeah, more or less. Nah, or something like that. We all become House of Commons. Aye, something like, what do they say? Like, you often hear them whinging at them, what they call it. I don't know what they say. Oh, no, that's the speaker who says that. But they kind of groan or whatever. Whatever you got to call that. No, the speaker says order and stuff like that. So, what do you call it? I don't know what they. You know, when the House comes out and hit them fucking walling out of their heads. House of Commons. Commons of House. But anyway, I think we'll leave it there. I can't go on talking nonsense there with you. So yeah, we'll leave it there. So thank you everyone. I appreciate it as always. Here. I'm going to be like the Simpsons to get a belly. Here. Oh no, we're getting too radical. YouTube will hit the ban hammer now. Right, night hall, we're going to the hall, are we? Right, so I think we leave it there. I think I've said enough for tonight. Right here, fair enough. We'll leave it there. So we'll be back tomorrow night. Probably around the same time. Maybe a bit earlier. I don't know. We'll see how we go. Because if it's going to be a wet day tomorrow, I say I might not go out in the evenings. I might not go out tomorrow even to do things. If it's going to be just wet, because because coming into the winter time too, it's going to be, you could get the flu. Let's put that way, and we wouldn't want that, being isolated and stuff like that. Well, obviously we're not going to isolate or anything. We're not going to be thrown into a prison cell or something like that. But yeah, so I leave it there. Take care, everyone. I talk to you there, and goodbye.